Okay, go ahead.
Call this meeting to order. Whereas there's a former council president at time of 6 p.m. Be it resolved this regular meeting be open for business and the minutes of the regular meeting of July 22nd, 2020 be approved, and further that in accordance with section 228-4 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, and mayor is hereby appointed as acting clerk for the purposes of this meeting. We won't pass the paper around there, just move it and second it there. Becky, you'll move it there?
I'll move it.
And Kevin, you second it there? All in favor? Carried. We'll put that in there. In regards to consent agenda, anybody got any concerns in regards to the accounts or anything?
No, it'll be very small. Yeah. Yeah, no much to say.
That's good, because if you heard what the Ontario government's in the hole there, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, we only know. That was a given.
But the figure is getting worse and worse. Be it resolved that item D1 containing the consent agenda be adopted there. Pat, will you move it there?
I'll move, yes, I'll move.
Yeah, you second it there?
Yes.
All in favor? Carried. In regards to the report of senior housing complex, everybody look at that there?
Yeah.
First, before we jump the gun here, we should be getting DSAT involved here, because we did a count there, how many seniors there is looking for housing there. That'd be the first step there to do there, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Because there's no sense of building something there if you got all people there in their age, let's say 50. You're not building a senior, you're building something else. So you've got to figure out what you want to build here before we start jumping the gun there and get businesses there.
Yeah, I think, should we not form a subcommittee for that to
I would
focus on
think,
that?
yeah.
Well, yeah, but before we get right into this, we better get some
Get a
numbers.
commitment from the
Well,
DSAT to
Well, no, not to get a commitment.
sit on it,
They
or
did the numbers there.
they've got the numbers?
They got numbers, so give you an idea how many people are really looking there for,
There's, the numbers are there. I've been talking to a lot of seniors. A lot of seniors want the seniors housing, but a lot don't want to live in a communal-like setting. A lot want to still have their own things. So that's where you're going to run into issues around here. They don't want to share anything. They want their own place. And so you've got to set it up in that aspect.
Yeah, so I guess the first step is, doing some surveys to see exactly what the majority want and form a design from there, which is kind of a subcommittee work, right? Is it not?
because you can see what they're advertising for rent and that's all 1,750.
Yeah, I
and they'll
mean,
discourage an awful
We
lot of
know
people.
that that's
Well,
not feasible around here.
No,
That's
but we had
crazy.
people from Massey in there paying that much money.
The
Wow.
other thing, I'd say 75% of the ones that I polled personally, just from talking as an information kind of thing, are looking at assisted living, not just living in a place. They want assisted living. They want their laundry done. They want housekeeping,
Semi-independent
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. as opposed to independent living. So that is
So-
something that we
so
have to look at.
That's another decision that has to
Yeah.
be made. Do we want
At
independent?
least we
Do
have
want a
something to work
combination?
with, though. I'd like to thank you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
Whoever
this.
prepared this.
Whoever did this,
Good.
Amanda, she did a great job.
There's
Yeah.
also, I didn't see anything in here. I don't believe I saw anything here, but the Manitoulin Centennial Manor is municipally run.
Yeah.
So they might have a model that we could look at.
Okay, do you want to make a note of that? Maybe we can have Amanda look into that too, eh?
What I'd like to see is, I thought as far as succession planning goes, as long as we secure a big enough parcel of land, we start with one structure, and as it grows, we add another one, and another one, and another one, whatever. Separate buildings are cheaper for us to deal with as far as construction and maintenance. And that way there, we're not overbuilding, and most likely there's going to be a waiting list.
Yeah. It's a process, Dale.
Well-
And you're right, we could do it in phases, but at first we gotta see what the priority.
We don't have
As
the
long as we have
money.
enough land, that's the main thing.
Yeah, we don't have the money to do it all ourselves.
No.
We have to have a
But if we-
developer involved, and
Developers
Yeah.
want money.
it's baby steps.
Well, our first
but-
step is to find out what kind of care or what kind of housing we need, whether it's going to be independent assisted or, like whatever level we're gonna need first.
My suggestion would start with
Yeah.
independent,
Yeah.
but we definitely have to.
Well, we have the property.
Yeah, we have the
But-
property,
Where-
but
but whether
they
that's
wanna know,
the-
is it serviceable? What's the cost of
Is
being
it up to
like,
snuff for the
it's
development?
not in town,
No.
like within the town
No.
where the
And
water would have to be
water.
well water. It would
And
be a
we've got the
problem there.
MTO to deal with too.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the
Strikes
first-
against that.
Where,
That's two big hurdles there, yeah.
where that old bridge is, if we could run water, we'd be all set, but other than that, we may have to look at something else, that's all. As long as whatever we have large enough so we have room for growth. That's, I think, the main thing, succession planning.
Yeah, but I think, if everybody starts thinking about this, I don't think municipalities should be involved in housing development there. It should be an organization like ESAB there, or get involved in native housing. They just bought our Gorbey there and they remodeled there, spent millions there to remodel it there and building a new one there. So you gotta go after people with money there that are in the housing there that will attract.
I just think
The
that if we,
Gorbey, the nursing home?
No, Gorbey, we had our own housing unit.
Oh,
It costed
okay,
so much
okay.
there, so native housing got involved and they pumped a pile of money in there.
So are you saying that, that we should just say, express a need and let somebody else run with it?
No,
rather than
no,
be
no,
involved?
no, no. I said, let's think what we wanna do, and do we wanna bring somebody else in there?
Oh, yeah.
Because once you build, you gotta make sure it's full at all the
Yeah.
time there, you gotta
Yeah,
pay bills.
I
There's
still
lots
hope,
of questions.
I still hope we try or we investigate the possibility of securing a big enough parcel so we can do all this correctly. I think if we have the property, and I know in that paper it talked about how some are looking for the property to be donated for them to maintain their interest, but I'd still like us to secure something, and if something goes by and we miss it, I mean, we're running out of big areas if this south yard is not feasible.
Yeah, that might be the first step to see the feasibility of that.
It would be great to have town water though, and I mean,
Yeah,
the regular utilities that are available to the people on the other side of the bridge.
and if that's not feasible with other property.
We had a chance at the school
When was that?
several years ago.
Yeah, but we don't know, it could be up for sale again there. We should do a little homework first there, by the way. This is what we're looking for, we're gonna go for seniors, or we're gonna go for housing, but get some numbers from people there that's already did some of the labor.
Yes, yeah. There's
And
no
that'll give us
sense.
an idea what we're even looking at.
Just when I was up in Chief Trombley and Spanish, their old bowling alley, there was a couple of, I think there's 4 apartments in there, the back, they want to convert it to about 12 more apartments. I don't know who's taking it over, but you can maybe contact them, somebody is looking to purchase that building, whether it's government run, or whether it's private. But they want to change it into housing and add more units, so that might be an option to find out who's doing this kind of thing and what the costs are.
It could be Algoma DSAP
Yeah,
because
I
they
don't
got
know who it is,
they got a
so-
shortage of places on this end there.
So we're gonna start with a letter to the DSAP then?
Well, we should inquire there, the
Yeah.
other numbers there, and
Sure.
then they'll give you the age groups as well there, and is it
Yeah.
singles or family units there? So it gives you an idea of what the numbers are right now. It'll change their monthly there, or yearly, but it gives you an idea what you're looking for. You're looking for 50-year-olds, or you're looking for 65s?
Is there any way we can check to see if it's possible to have treated water run across the river somehow, somewhere?
Well, you can, there's
Sure,
there's
it
a
could be
cost.
Could we find out, I mean, if
Yeah,
we find out
to
about
get
that,
caustic.
if we find out about it, then maybe we already have the property that we need.
Yeah.
But I mean, until we know, we don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know who we'd be involving with that, but somebody must know if water's been run across there. And like, I was thinking about that old bridge, that concrete structure that's still there. Maybe that could be, a base or something for it, but I think if we had the water there, everything else, there's enough room for everything there. Sandy soil as far as septic and the whole nine. Prime real estate, if you consider the view.
Yeah, it's a perfect spot. Can we jump there down to B1 there, so Mr. Panisov can move as soon as possible?
Okay.
Go ahead there.
Yeah, Mayor, Council, so just as we start here, I just wanted to go over, because we haven't had time to talk and meet about what's been going on with fire calls, so I did a quick update on where we are at with 2020. As you can see, last year we were at 78 calls by the end of the year. We're already at 70 calls as of today. The bigger rise is in the daytime burning complaints, so I don't know if that's with people being home, not being, a lot of them will say they're not aware of the daytime burning bylaw. We like to play the, pub ed campaign, so saying, here's a copy of the burn bylaw, explain to them the right and wrongs, give them an example of the fine schedule of what they were going to face if that was, truly the case that they're violating the bylaws. But we do also issue a warning that if we come out again, fines and charges will be applied. I like to promote the campaign of educating them on understanding what the burn bylaw is, giving a copy, telling them where it is online, and working with them. So that part of it is probably where we've seen the major increase.
Paul, that's something that you could tell the girls to put on our website too, and on our
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's on there. It's on there. We promoted it on our Facebook page. We're really trying hard to get that information out.
Yeah, it's on there.
So I think it's more of an education thing.
Yeah.
And then enforcement after that. So, as far as the, from our last meeting that I didn't have time to finish and talk to you guys about, as far as the brush fires go, we're up to 7 now, this year. 2 of those which were, mutual aid calls, plus 2 that were mutual aid calls, but they were brush fires outside our township. And the few that we've had, most of them are considered brush fires. The 2 of them were actually, one was in early April, so somebody being careless, not paying attention, and it caught out of hand. But they did have it out by the time we got there, so we did explain that, again, no daytime burning. It was windy, and he shouldn't have been doing it to begin with. So more of an education thing than an enforcement, but he had to apologize that it won't happen again. You'd be a little more aware of what he's doing. The other brush fires, so we had one out in Webwood, where we don't know what the start was. It was actually in the M&R zone, but it was close enough to us that we responded first. So somebody either on a quad, so careless smoking, kids playing in the woods or whatever. I'm not too sure what caused it, but again, did get it under control. It wasn't good. So the majority of them, as far as the brush fires go, that we've had, one came in as a brush fire call as a hay baler. That's going to happen whether there's a burn ban, whether there's whatever going on. That's going to happen as it happens. The Quash Lake Road, Whalen Road, so again, they were permit related, so saying, you guys should have been calling us. So this again was before we had our meeting with the agricultural people in the area. Like I said, most have been working with us, most do call us, and we go out there and do a site visit and take it from there. There's been a couple now since our meeting. Glenda, you were there. Some of those people were at that meeting.
Yeah.
It's been night and day. Other than, again, you're going to have the one-off. So whether there's a burn ban or whether some people are going to do what they do, and we have to go out and do what we have to do. We'll play the education first time, get in the warnings. The next time we come out, there's fines and charges. So it is working very well since our meeting.
That's good.
We've had several people call. The guys from several areas have one out, did inspections, made them change their location, made them scale down the size of their piles. But again, it's going to be an ongoing battle between them talking to each other and saying, listen, don't just go light it, call us. Between them talking to each other now, maybe that's going to help limit some of the calls that we're going to for those.
Well, the other thing, Paul, too, was the way the fire permit was wrote
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's not specific to what their needs are. It's
Yeah, so
just
there's some small
generic
changes we're going to have to make.
fire permit. So there has to be changes for agricultural, different definitions for the agricultural.
Yeah, I mean, even just adding a simple line in there saying, if you exceed the requirements of the permit, which is 2 meters cubed, then you need a site inspection done by the fire department and not to burn until that's happened.
Yeah.
And at that meeting, we, that was just a word of mouth meeting. We're off to put something out on our pub campaigns. I told them that they're volunteers. They said, I can go, but sometimes I'm busy with something, so I can't go that day. If you phone me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon thinking you're going to burn tonight, you're not going to get your inspection. That's probably not going to happen. We made it clear that if you call, try to give us a week's notice between the different areas for myself, we can schedule inspection. And I said, this also doesn't mean that you're going to burn right away that night. If you have to make changes, we're not going to authorize it for the burn that night. So you're going to be upset about not being, able to burn. Call a week in advance at least. Most of them.
But there's only 2 or 3 there that are trying to.
Yeah, most of them have been still very compliant with calling us and waiting that
Trying
week.
to clear land and burning it this time of year.
Yeah, so there's a few that have had big piles for a long time, and we've advised that too. If you can get most of it done during the winter, I understand some of them are trying to clear it and get it done this time of year. We advise them it's in your best interest to do it. You can burn it all day, you can do whatever you want in the winter, provided there's adequate ground cover. That's the time to be doing it.
Paul was very complete in his explanation about everything. So a lot of people came kind of like not knowing anything, to going, having a lot of knowledge.
There's still a lot to cover, but it did clear up a lot of the gray areas
Yes,
that they were not aware of.
That's good.
it was very good.
Purpose.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it went very well.
Yeah.
And then, so if there's any other questions on that right now, I don't know where, so if you do want to go with the option of canceling burning during the summer or whatever, again, that's a bylaw issue. We enforce the bylaws that you guys approve. That's something that we should table and talk with other areas and say, well, how do you meet compliance for your agricultural people? What do you do? Is it just smaller fires on the burn permit sites that you're banning? Or is it an outright ban that you can't burn from April 1st till October 31st, whatever the timeframe may be? So, I mean, that would be something that, again, it's something that has to go back and forth. I find working with them gets them into calling us, and being compliant with what we want to do and being safe. When you put, during a fire ban, people are still gonna light fires. You ban it outright, you got all these guys piled up there, like, so now it becomes the enforcement side, and it's an aggravation to both sides. Whereas if you're working with them, they're scaling it down, they're breaking them down, they're sizing it appropriately. I would sooner do that than, and know what we're going into ahead of time, by having that inspection, by having this out there. They've worked with us and actually cut a road in for us or whatever, made the access easier for us if something did get out of hand. And so far, knock on wood, it hasn't, but the ones that have been compliant and calling us, even once they've got a permit and they've went out and burned and it's been a little while, they'll call us back. We'll ask them, is it the same setup that you had before? If it is, you're probably okay, but we'll still send somebody out to take a look. If it's changed, if it's in a new spot, you need a new inspection, you need to have it reviewed again before you like that, so.
As long as there's compliance.
No, and and like I said, the understanding now between the majority of them, and they're talking to, I mean, as opposed to outright banning it during the summer for them, they'll sooner call us that they can work with us on it too. So we want them to do it safely, and we be halfway on it, right?
Well, I would rather work with them on it. I mean,
Absolutely.
some of them, are getting pushed to shove there.
I just felt that the atmosphere was good and they would be more prone to compliance if there was no ban and the system that's working
I
now.
heard all kinds of stuff that we're not within our rights to stop them
Right.
under the Farming Act and the whole bit.
But that left after the information
Good.
session.
Everybody
that
cooled
tone,
off.
Went right away, and actually there was a lot of questions. And like I said, Paul and the other fire people were very, very knowledgeable and explained everything in detail. So it went very well.
Good.
I think it's, like I said, it's a learning thing from both sides, right? So they're learning what the compliance is on our stance. We're learning what they're trying to burn and what they're doing in different, every scenario is going to be different. So it kind of works both ways too for us, right?
In this letter from Alan, it says they'd like us to work with them on it. It says they have representatives that are willing to work with us, so why don't we communicate with them?
Yep,
Absolutely.
absolutely. That's what we're here for.
There's small changes that need to be made for compliance or limitations, we can set those boundaries, and then they understand that before they do their stuff. As far as the burn permit goes, if you're 3 times bigger than what's on the burn permit, we want 3 times greater the setbacks. We want, 3 times greater the amount of water on site. If it's only 2 people on site to do it, maybe if you've got a big burn well in, you should have 3 people there. So again, we can kind of work with them and say, this is, if you've got 5 times the distance and the ground's dirt all the way around it, yeah, maybe for you it might work, but not for the other guy who's applying. And so,
Because Paul wasn't working before.
yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm saying I'm trying to educate them to get it working.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
People just grabbing it saying, I got a permit, I can go burn my brush pile, but they're not actually even reading what's there. So maybe even a quick question when the burn permits are being handed out, or a checklist that the fire wardens, even the fire members are giving them some information. But asking that question, do you exceed 2 meters by 2 meters? Do you need a site inspection?
the plows gotta be a certain distance apart there, and something, certain length there and all that.
Right, no, I'm saying we could set up a minimum guideline for that, but each site is gonna be different, so that's what I'm saying. It would, if you exceed that 2 meters cubed with those setbacks, you need an inspection. We'll give them the guidelines after that, right? So, I mean, that's the bigger part of it is educating them, I think.
I just want to make a comment that it wasn't just the farmers that people, it was anybody that was burning piles that they were talking about, and all of a sudden it turned into
I know.
against the agricultural people,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's not what it was about.
Right, right. No,
Right?
no, it's just
It
in
was
general.
about anybody burning piles.
That's right. Yeah.
And about the smoke and the stink and and I see the island is starting a thing now because of the pollution from it, like,
Right.
there's climate change happening, the atmosphere is changing, like, and something's gotta be done, and even as far as the eggs, I can't remember the name of their group that helps the farmers when they're raising for food, and I can't remember the name, I feel, anyway, they're asking their members if they could chip the piles instead of, and put it back into the soil instead of burning it and getting,
Yeah, if there's alternative
anyway,
solutions, if there's
yeah,
alternative solutions, that would be great.
yeah.
That would be awesome.
So they're encouraging their members actually to do that. They would like them not to burn it and chip it and put it back into the soil, but like I say, it's not just a farmer thing, like, it's not just the agricultural people, it's anyone that's clearing land and building
There
or
was people
whichever
there that were
happens.
not farmers that were.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I mean, most of the things that you're talking about, there's already provisions in the bylaw.
Yeah,
So for
there
smoke,
is.
for nuisance and things like that. For myself to issue a fire ban if we're feeling either the conditions are too dry, or my guys are going out to, ridiculous calls, we can't have them out there with this whole COVID thing, whatever else may come along. The provisions are there to put out a fire ban.
Yeah.
But again, if you're working with them and they're complying with you when they can have it, I'm sure during a fire ban they would stop. It's educating all the ones that aren't doing the compliance portion of it. It's educating the ones that are having the fire without even getting a permit, things like that. So I think that's the bigger hurdle. With everybody being home, the burn complaints have been higher. Again, a lot of them are for nuisance things. Some have been daytime burns legitimately. They're saying, I just moved to the area. Okay, here's a copy of the burn bylaw. Don't do it again. We'll talk to you again in a different tone if we have to come back. We haven't went back, so it is working.
Most people are responsible.
Yeah. And then the other issue is, so are we good on that then for now? We're gonna move forward, try to get some maybe a little change in the burn permit. So when we have the new copies printed up, that if they need a site inspection, there's a spot that when it's being handed out, simple little question, are you over 2 meters cubed on your burn pile? Do you exceed any of these setbacks? Because then you need an inspection.
Yeah, right now it's not working, Paul.
It's not in there right now, Mayor.
No, I
I'm saying-
totally understand that,
Yeah.
but it ain't working until we threaten there, then they're starting to come around here, and
Well,
it is.
I don't think we need to threaten, we
Well-
just have to clarify and
Yep.
communicate.
That's what it is, clarifying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So going forward, are we doing something to make it work? Or
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
something being tabled differently? Because again, last meeting, that was thrown at me blindsided. So if you're doing something differently, I need to make my guys aware of it. That
That's
this
right.
may come down the road.
Yeah.
So that's a council decision. That's a bylaw decision. We enforce the bylaws that you guys approve. So the bylaw doesn't say that right now. So we're doing that right now. So you're saying it's not working. The bylaws there, the permits are there. I'm trying to educate them on what we have today. If what we have today is not working, then you guys need to implement a change that is going to work. Right?
So you can enhance the permit form then.
Well, and that's what I mean. So I'm working with the officers at our officers meeting. We tabled some stuff.
Yeah.
After that meeting with the ag people that, what are you missing? Maybe there's something we can do that'll make it a little clearer for you guys.
Well, I think it turned into more of a, no one's gonna tell me what to do on my land type of thing.
Yeah, there was a few people there that were like that too.
But by the end of it,
Even
it was
that
information
rolled back
session.
and
They
scaled
were,
back.
they all seemed to be very
Yeah,
pleased.
again, that was just misinformation.
Yeah.
And we got some clarification.
Yeah.
And some suggestions from Paul, and I think they're great.
Well,
Let's make
that's
this
a-
work.
That's a step forward. Let's see how it goes.
And then, so 400, when it was being checked, there was oil noticed in the rad reservoir. So I tagged it over to a mechanic here. He says it's an oil cooler leak. It's for that model engine. Years after it was made, it's a common issue. Unfortunately, it's out of warranty, so it's not gonna be covered under warranty. There's nobody locally around here that can service that. He referenced, I think 2 or 3 places that are certified to work on that. Only problem is once in Sudbury, I emailed him the information and some pictures. You can only give a blind view of this is what it might be. It could be exceeding that. The other one's in Barrie. To drive that truck down to Barrie, to have them rip it apart to look at it. I don't know of anybody else in the area. I've taken it to a few people. They can't do that work.
There's that famous Max Force engine again.
That Max Force engine, that's right, yeah. So
Usually
after the fact,
we had trouble with it.
some people gave me the feedback saying that Max Force engine probably should have been a recall. They never did.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, it happens about the time that it's about a year plus out of warranty. So unfortunately, that's one of those things, right? Maybe the manufacturer should have recall, I don't know, but we're in the boat where we need it fixed.
No, we gotta fix it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So can I send it to Sudbury and have them look at it? Because he's giving me that minimum estimate based on pictures and what he thinks it is. Until they open it up, he can't actually resolve and say that's exactly what the problem is. So that's why I had that on my agenda.
Yeah,
because
that's exactly what happened during the truck there.
Yeah, so can I send it? So the other question is where did you get your truck fixed?
Rush.
So at Rush, that's where I got the quote, because there's nobody else around. So
So what is it?
council's okay with me sending it there to get a more thorough estimate. That once they open it up, I mean, what are you gonna tell them to close it and bring it back and send it somewhere else? It's a matter of, they're gonna open up, they're gonna tell you what it actually needs.
What did it wind up costing us?
Yeah, so he said the common issue is the oil cooler line.
Was it 17,000?
Yeah, so the common issue is the oil cooler line, which is behind the exhaust manifold. So everybody knows if you're pulling off old exhaust manifolds, you're gonna have some extra labor, if that's what the problem is. He goes in and finds out it's a cracked head inside after the fact, that's when the price goes up, but he doesn't know until he opens it. So he said, without seeing it, he said, I'm just, saying 7,000 as.
Is that the estimate?
On the low end,
That's
if it's an oil cooler
Just for an
line,
estimate?
Minimum.
minimum.
But the estimate, not repair, just the estimate could be 25,000?
No.
No, depending on what it is. So from 7,000 saying it's an oil cooler line, he pulls the stuff off, he fixes the oil
Just
cooler
try
line.
it.
It's about, that's what
Yeah,
happened.
that's not estimate, that's actual repair.
Well,
Yes, that's the
That's
estimate for
unseen.
repair based on the minimum thing of an oil cooler line. If it's something past that, it could be more,
Yeah,
what he's saying. So he won't know until he opens it up.
yeah, so it's about $800 is the tell her what's wrong.
Well, yeah, whatever, and when he has it opened up, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna say put it back together and spend more time again to take it apart. So that is a breakdown of that.
So you need permission for them to take it apart and see what needs to be
Well,
done.
that's what I want to council approval. So
Then-
Rush Truck Center, so like you said, it's the only place you guys had, that's the same problem I'm having. I can send it to Barry, but I don't want to send it to Barry to get work done
That's
any
the
longer.
yeah.
And so you guys are okay with me sending it to Rush Truck Center to get it opened up and like that?
What's the 400?
It's the
Truck
rescue,
number.
rescue
No.
400.
It's a
A
rescue van.
rescue van?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, be resolved, the fire chief be authorized to bring 400 fire vehicle to Rush Truck Center in Sudbury for an estimate on repairs. Yeah, you move it there, Shelley, a second there?
Yes, I will.
All in favor? Carried. Why International didn't rectify a problem there?
Like I said, I had no idea about it until, when I had taken it to the grants, they said, oh yeah, that's a common problem with those. I said, yeah, obviously it should have been a
Yeah,
recall maybe.
and the tear it apart there, everything's on the back end.
And under the manifold.
It's a slow learning process, not maybe to buy a new creature when they bring it out, if you know what I mean. Leave it for a year, because the guys that buy the new stuff, the new model, end up with
Yeah.
recall after recall.
Is there anything else, Paul?
No, that's it for me for today. If you have any other questions?
No, good job.
It's been a while since we met, so that's why.
Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, and thanks for your work with our
Yeah, and it's
agricultural.
not done, it's ongoing, so it's still a work in progress, and we're moving forward with it, so that's what we're trying to, is get that relationship, stronger, not weaker, so.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
Okay, did anybody find me in
So Amanda did an update just on the funding and what she received. She's got these kits together. I think she's still waiting for the sanitizer, is that right? She's still waiting for the hand sanitizer, but then, once that's in, they're ready to be distributed.
And I already told you that I'd like to help her with the distribution of those too.
I can also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
in my
for
golf,
golf,
yeah,
for Webwood and, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Got a lot.
Yeah, look, it turned out neat.
That's good,
Yeah.
that's really good.
The correspondence from Kelly Hansen.
Yes.
Yes, is there anything we can do about that?
I wish there was.
Yeah. Can we not even
No.
just go, very politely and ask him, you know what? With everything going on in the world right now, that your flag is sending a very negative message, would you kindly take it down?
Kim did speak to him on the phone before she, was, the last day, and, he understood that, but he said, it's a seller to some, and he does get negative, but.
People are so sensitive.
Yeah.
But,
They
you know,
are right now.
I understand it, but there's people that sell your thumbs up signs as well and don't get reprimanded for it.
So
So,
Paul went out that way.
fingers up, whatever you wanna call it, you know, like, I mean, shops sell that, stuff sell that, there's people along the road that sell things we don't know about.
I don't think it's within our jurisdiction
No.
to tell
Even
somebody
though-
what flag
No.
they can fly,
The OPP
really.
did
that's-
attend.
Unless it's,
Freedom
like
of
a finger
expression.
or.
Even the OPP don't have any jurisdiction.
Right.
No.
The OPP, 3 cars attended,
Mhm.
and he folded up shop, and the next day he was back there again, so I mean, maybe just a polite,
I mean, he did apply for a hawkers and peddlers
Yeah, he
license,
got-
so.
And he's been there he's
Yeah.
been around since I moved back here.
Yes, he has been.
And now all of a sudden, and he's always had that flag up, and I don't think he means any ill by it.
No.
It's a
I
selling
think
feature for
it
him.
means he's,
Yes.
Where is
it
he,
attracts people.
putting up, he's not on private property?
Curly's.
Oh, okay, well, maybe there's something I could do about that, if he's on Curly's property. I
Yeah,
can
just somewhere else.
call Robert
Yeah.
and have him do a letter.
I think there's other avenues, that's not really our territory. To tell
You just
people.
move somewhere else.
I mean, like in my memo, I did say, like, if anybody had concerns, you can contact the Ontario State
Yeah.
Racism Director. And that's your avenue, that's what they
Yeah.
do, right? So
Yeah.
if anybody's got some pull, they may.
Very hypersensitive, world right now, but, you know,
He
I
was
mean,
at our garage sale and Tina had no issues with him and she would be one of the ones if he really meant what that flag was flying for, so.
mhm.
And that isn't what that flag represents in
No.
the first place. It represents what those
Civil
people
War.
fought for in
Yeah.
the Civil War, yes, but it's just been taken and,
It's interpretation, Pat,
Yeah.
that's what it is, eh?
well,
You know,
but people think it's only the Black Lives Matter now, that seems to be the only thing that anybody thinks about that.
well, and the thought out there, from what I've been hearing from the ratepayers, some ratepayers have had concern was something to do with those people were fighting to retain slavery, so this is.
oh my goodness, it's like I could listen to a song and I could get a totally different meaning than you would get from the same song and it means something different to
Okay,
you.
so tonight we can do your, yeah, your insurance community pays,
And is he from our township?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
He has a permit.
I don't, no, I meant, is he from
He's a
here?
resident, yes.
He
He's a
lives
resident.
here, he lives
Thank
in
you.
Washington.
Yeah.
That's all I wanna know, he's not from somewhere else, so.
He's not out there going, waving it, he just has it on display.
okay, your insurance. Be nice to have a number there, what you're asking for. And what is it costing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're certainly in favor and we
Yes.
wanna hear
Yes.
more, yeah, for sure. So do we need to
Broadband.
send a letter?
Broadband,
Yes,
Well,
community owned broadband network.
we sent them a letter of support, now they're looking at
no, that was the man, wasn't it?
We're researching costs and process to create a numbered corporation and trust necessary for them, so they really don't know at this point.
No, so we're talking about 25%
Yeah,
for the
well,
study.
well, and hopefully some government grants will be coming up soon because that has been certainly mentioned as a priority.
Yes, especially with the education
Especially
component now,
with everything happening.
happening.
Yeah, yeah, so let's get on board with that.
Very important.
You ought to find out there what the,
Well,
Sure.
yeah, we can't commit to a number till.
Yeah, we just, yes,
It'd
we
be
are
kinda nice
definitely
to
are
know what the
interested,
number is.
and let us know what kind of commitment you're
Yeah.
looking at.
Exactly, 25% of what?
is what it cost in the organization.
Well, the 25% is how much funding
Yeah,
that they're applying for. Or what it would, yeah, but
So
so
that'd be
project.
75% would be spread between the rest of us?
I don't think they know the dollar amount right now, you know.
So more or less, they wanna know if we're willing to throw
Yeah,
money
they
in the
say, are you
pot.
willing, or you wanna jump on board? And yes, we are interested, so let's talk more.
We've already tried this. We had gentlemen from, Whitefish. So I mean, it's not like we don't know already some of the numbers in our area.
Previous
Great.
council tax.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
surveys and things
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, so we'll try it again.
But we'll try it again, because
Yeah.
it's the new day
You have to
with new
remember-
priorities, right?
You have to remember that was almost 4 years ago. Our dynamics of our population have changed. We have a lot of influx of new people in here.
Yes.
Also, our dynamics of working has changed. There's more people
And
working
internet
from
use
home.
is changing.
Internet is more needed, so yes, and it's having probably another,
So it's more
Look at
pressing, absolutely, I agree, Linda.
The COVID situation changed all of it.
Yepper,
That's why.
it's like we need internet.
so it's not a want, it's a need
Yeah,
actually,
it's
for
becoming a need.
education, for everything. Working.
okay.
We can just follow up. with
Yeah,
her
yeah.
and just-
The Spanish River Bridge, you look at that,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Howard, that's gonna be a doozy.
yes, well, the government's paying there, but
Yes.
it's.
Well, I know, but
But when,
eventually,
but when you're paving both ends there, we should tap in there, because we're supposed to do ours.
Yeah.
in both
mm,
entrances, the Lee Valley entrance there and up to, River Street there.
Oh, yeah,
And tap in there, instead of us doing our little section, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna do theirs, so
yeah.
That's right.
maybe we should, see when they're going to do this there and tap in the same time. and fix it up.
2021, next year.
so do you think that's going to increase substantially traffic on Lee Valley Road?
No,
No.
no,
You
they
don't
gotta
think
fix
so?
it, they gotta fix the bridge.
So,
They have to fix the
they have to keep one lane open at
Well,
all
I know,
times.
but you know how some people, instead of doing the one
But-
lane.
Well,
Well,
there'll be
Well,
more
there'll be
people on
less
the
on Lee
highway.
Valley Road because he won't wanna go across the bridge.
Yeah, there'll be less.
well, no, the people that are using Lee Valley Road now will just keep using it.
Yeah,
Except the road construction that's gonna take place next year could throw some, numbers as far as car traffic, automobile traffic.
Yeah.
in Lee
Because we're
Valley.
gonna be doing
Right.
this.
right, so
Safety will be a
I'm just
consideration.
saying that
Yeah.
we'll have to keep an eye on Lee Valley Road, cause that
Well,
could
again, though,
damage.
if traffic's restricted to one lane going across the bridge, some people won't, you know?
Mhm.
What,
They won't be aware of it.
If they're doing the highway and people think, oh, I'm gonna take Lee Valley and they go to cross the bridge and it's one lane, you get a traffic jam there,
Well, yeah, but-
nobody's gonna bother with that.
Well,
bother with what though? I don't get it.
They'll just keep using 17.
Yeah, until there's 20 or 30-minute waits, then they'll wait for the one lane, that's all.
I'm just saying we'll have to keep an eye on Lee Valley Road, cause I foresee increased traffic out there
Okay,
and it
so
could damage the
What we
road.
should do is write a letter and say, by the way, we'd like to work with you there and.
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
interested in-
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Because the, grants we have to be fixed on reserves on, Lee Valley side there, because they only go so far, we should fix ours as
Yeah.
well, so.
Yeah.
Let's work together.
Hey, yeah, that reserve road is excellent. It sure makes ours look pale.
And
Right.
and now I see on their Facebook post that too many people are speeding on it now.
Oh,
Yeah. At least the
Yeah.
notes kept people down a little.
I believe it's narrower than the usual model hardtop road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's been people saying we're gonna have some accidents out there in the winter. There's not much road.
Oh. I haven't been on it since it was finished, so.
The white line's not right out at the edge, but it does, once it was mentioned to me, I took
Yeah.
a ride, yeah, it does.
I've ridden it and I liked it. It's, I don't know, I think it's great.
Okay, you read that, the memo there from the Tracy Road there in Bell Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanna make sure they're there, that they have the gravel there, stockpile there, fix it right there, I don't want that.
Right away, yeah.
The clay put back in there and, junk. Yeah.
I thought so.
Any
I
other,
wasn't sure, I just wanted
any
to
other
clarify.
comments there,
Regarding,
Tracy Road there? in
I
Bell
think you're
Canada?
right, that's,
Make sure they can fix it as soon as they,
Yeah, and don't put junk back in there and let it go.
exactly.
Yeah, just have our guys keep an eye on what they're doing.
Okay, be it resolved with respect to the request from District Care Communication on behalf of Bell Canada to excavate across Tracy Road for the purpose of replacing a residential landline that we approved the request with the following condition. The Public Works Department be notified 2 days in advance of the excavation of the roadway, that the traffic control precautions are in place in order to protect vehicles traveling on Tracy Road. Then notice be given to emergency services and residents that the road is left in the same condition as it was prior to the excavation. With all the conditions, I don't know why you just don't go overhead with that spot. Yeah, I don't know what the hang the reason. Susie, you moved here?
Yep.
Yeah, Lenny second.
Yeah.
All in favor? Carry. It'd make more sense here and, less cost.
Are we gonna go back to the senior housing thing after, or
Yeah,
what?
we will, yeah.
Okay.
GFL, there's a more on the plate than you can handle there, and they let you get out, it's going to go on with
I see that.
that's painful.
I was wondering
The
there.
letter was.
The letter's confusing because it says, we
Yeah,
Made a
do feel
mistake.
that we
It's a
can
typo.
adequately provide.
yeah, I know,
So who is we?
GFL.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they don't-
But they said they want to
I
withdraw
read
it,
it,
and
and
they
it
say
doesn't
we
make
can
sense
do
to
it.
me.
Why
We'd
did-
like to
I think it was a
withdraw.
typo.
I think it was a
Yeah.
typo.
That's a typo, because Lenny called me and said,
Okay.
you know, we
Yeah.
can't do
We
it this,
do not
we're
feel
not going
Yeah,
to.
that's
And
the
then
word
he sent
not.
it, yeah, then he emailed back.
So where do we go from here with
So we'll
this
have to
then?
put it out.
Contract it out.
Yeah.
Got a contract.
Is
Yeah.
it Carlisle, like who's
Well,
out there?
there's,
I
Well,
don't know.
there's a few.
there's Ted Bell's into
Ted
that
Bell.
there, and so is Greg Clown, there's a few.
Carlisle still doing that? Yeah?
I don't know, but we gotta try it.
Yeah.
Just tender it out, see
Yeah.
what we get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw the baby
Fair
out.
enough.
Because there's no sense putting pressure on GFL there, because they're,
And
No,
If
No,
they
no.
can't do it, then it'll just be a headache, right?
Yeah.
If they say they can't do it, then
Do it
we'll
on
be
the road.
fighting them all the way, so.
The next thing is about public works, meeting. Do you want that on the public works agenda, the tender, to review first, or just use what we used last time?
well, no, if we put it up for tender now, there,
We can change
yeah, no, I'd like to have a
public.
public works meeting there. By the time this goes out there, we won't have it to the end of the month there, so we can open them up there and deal with it during the
Okay.
first meeting, right?
are you talking about a public works meeting for September or before September?
September?
Well, no, we're in the middle of the month now, then by the time we get this tender out there and get it back, it'll be the first of September there, so.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you wanna have a public works meeting like the 2nd of September on the first Wednesday?
Well, I don't care what we have it there, but soon. But first I gotta find out, is everybody in favor? I'd like to have it there, and I like to have it to me,
Yes,
where there's more room.
yes, I
That's
agree.
my feeling.
I think we should have council meetings down here.
Any comment, anybody there?
I'm okay with having the public works meeting at the ring.
What about council meetings?
But we're talking about all meetings, basically.
Yeah.
Until the COVID thing is.
I don't, if I was a contractor, I don't know if from now till the first week of September is enough time for me to enter a bid.
No, we wanna have a meeting before we ask for.
Public works.
Well, no, we're gonna ask for quotes here,
Yeah.
and then if we don't get any there for the first meeting, then we gotta decide what we're going to do.
Yeah, it'll just come to
So
council.
to give the contractor 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or decide, do I wanna get involved in storm? In 3 weeks, you
Are you
should,
just asking for people if they are interested
Well,
or
no.
an actual quote?
we're asking the natural quote, we need a grader there, or we need a plow truck, or we need a loader, what do you want to supply us there to?
So that you're
Yeah.
going, like Ann said, going by what we previously
Yeah,
posted.
sure.
Well-
That's the question Ann asked, is are we going by the same
Well,
standards?
we're gonna get Glenn involved there and see what we do. Is
So,
it,
I mean, do you wanna wait and put that on the public works agenda?
no,
Like, You
no,
wanna
no,
do
no.
meeting that quickly?
No, we want you and Glenn there to work on there, because by the time if we wait till September, then we're into October there, and then we'll maybe have snow the first of November, I'd like
So
somebody.
you don't wanna have public works meeting next week?
No.
Well, don't we
Because I
know
think
what
that's
we
what
need
Glenn was
already?
hoping.
We already know what we've utilized already with GFL, so why wouldn't we ask for the same?
Just the
Thing.
same thing we sent
Instead
out.
of changing it up.
Yeah. we
Because
don't have to
nothing has
change that.
changed
I don't
what
think
they're
anything's
doing.
Yeah, but we hired a fella, so let's get his input there, and maybe there he's got some other idea that we haven't got.
He did say that there's probably some stuff
Yeah.
that. He did mention that.
I would just like to see our local contractors have a little bit more time, because they're trying to stay busy, and I don't feel that 2.5, 3 weeks is enough time for them once they see this. That's all. You know what I mean, Les? Like, that's,
I totally understand you, but I don't wanna wait till we have our meeting there the first week in September, then, by the time you get it out there, we won't have it back till October, November.
could we delay it till the 3rd week of September and give that contract,
We're not gonna pick the
Like a later-
contractor, are we?
to give the contractor enough time to be able to come back with a bid? By the time this goes out, the 1st week of September, there's not enough time.
Well, we don't have to have it back by the.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
No,
back by the
Well, that's what he-
15th of
Well, that's
September.
what, yeah, but that's what he was saying.
Well,
He said that we'll
no,
have
I'm hoping,
some bids to look at. That's what he said.
I'm hoping to have.
Well, we gotta do something, we can't just sit around there, and then November comes there, and we.
How much time do we usually give them, you know, for a bid like that?
So I'm not sure what they.
24
Well,
weeks.
whatever, just go by what we
That's
did
why I just
before
thought
with
the
a
third
couple
week
little
of-
tweaks from Glenn.
3rd week
Yeah.
of September, there'd be ample time for them to give, so that we could move on in September rather than.
We're not gonna want to reinvent the
And
wheel. I-
No,
also
it's not
not
that-
something
I
that-
think you're just looking to tweak those
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
When we do get the bids back, it comes to the council table anyway.
Yeah.
That's right.
Accepted, so it doesn't matter what time. It would be nice to have it with the public works, we'll discuss it. But Ann just said that Glenn was hoping to have a meeting next week.
So he said to have a meeting, like, there's a
Like,
lot
get
of
it-
things going on, he like.
I feel that that's very important because we haven't had any meetings and I really think
Well,
that
I'm
we
just-
need to.
I'm just saying what Ann said, Glenn said.
Yeah. I agree on that one.
Okay, so at the arena zone.
Yeah.
Okay,
When?
so,
Yeah, let's set a date.
Next week.
And we
too,
can have a
has to
draft,
be.
I can get Glenn to work on that so that when you do meet, you have something that you can say, okay, yeah, let's send this out if it's.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we can have the draft for next of the meetings and then send it out. Okay, so what about the 19th? Next Wednesday,
is everybody available next?
next Wednesday?
That's no
Can
problem.
try, I got library interviews all week, but we'll
yeah.
see. Well, I haven't scheduled them yet, I
Yeah.
gotta see who's available and when.
Oh, yeah.
It's all electronic.
Okay.
6 or 7? 6?
6?
Six?
6.
Six, all right?
6.
That's all this 19th?
That's public works, is that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we resolved the public works committee meeting is scheduled for August 19th at 6 p.m. And that this meeting be held at Sandusky Room and at the Massey District Community Center and Arena to accommodate physical distancing protocols. Any comment, anybody? Pat, will you move it there?
Yes, I will move.
Kevin, you second it there?
All second.
All in favor? If anybody's got anything else you want to add to the roads agenda, could you let Ann know there and we'll get it on there?
And what was the response about that sign that called you this morning?
I hadn't, the guys are out all day today on the permit chip, so I haven't had a chance to talk to
I
them.
called Dan, there's a big sharp corner sign right at the Burns Cross over there. Covered with trees and grass, you can't even see it.
Same as the sign for Coburn Road on Lee Valley. You can't even read the sign for the brush, not to mention all the Mennonite traffic.
Do you just wanna email in with things for public works?
I'll mark Cove Road too.
Thank you. The intersection Lee Valley and Covert Road.
The rail crossing, I live with you, I didn't see that sign. They gotta do them all.
Yeah. And there's one in town that I'm concerned with as well. It's Limit and Pine across from Derek Roy's. The brush is overhanging the blacktop, and there's a lot of kids there, and I know of a couple accidents that have been there over the years, so the trees are down, but the brush is growing like crazy, so it's a narrow strip as it is on Limit.
No, so Water Community Club,
Yes, everybody read that
So-
memo there?
yeah, so, Cheryl, I know you declared a conflict, but can you explain maybe a little bit better so we understand? Like, they didn't have fundraising, but yet they have a shortfall, so, I mean, the options are to let it flow through taxation and just fund any shortfall that the community hall has, right? Because that's what the money is.
So the community club is also a recreation committee, I guess. That's what their main function is in Walford, and it always has been since my parents when we were being raised. We just kind of inherited taking care of the community center and over that. So we do kids functions, we do like Halloween parties, Christmas parties, Easter parties.
Excellent job.
Easter parties, we do ladies' night, we do different social functions, right? I mean, raising money for the hall is secondary. Our main focus is providing, and we just bought new playground equipment for the playground, stuff like that.
It's
But
not
that's our
necessarily
main-
the hall, it's more for it to be able to continue.
We were
this
never
program.
supposed to be,
Right.
but we just kind of took on that entity. It kind of developed into, we were also a fundraiser for them. So that's the Christmas Bazaar mainly, hall rentals, tops that up and
Yeah. so
different
it's like-
donations, right?
So this is utilities and.
No, this money is for children's functions, I'll say.
Recreation.
The hydro neck was, or the municipality here.
That's usually paid by
Okay, so.
hall rentals, donations, the Christmas Bazaar, all that money goes to the hall.
So without being anal, should we just find out what this 2,500 breaks down to, or?
Well, that's just a figure that they're going to be short that they ordinarily would have raised.
Do you want anybody else to come
Well,
up with this?
In the council, the budget for council donations, they only spent of about 20,000 budget, we spent $250, so there's money there to donate to the community club, if that's where you need to know what that is.
And how much a year in the whole budget line do we,
In the,
for donations? What is it?
20 is the
For
budget.
2020.
2020, we have $20,000 budgeted.
Okay, and we
Only
barely
spent
used any of it.
250.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year there's been no
Yeah.
donations.
This is such an unusual year, and I think that definitely this is a club that is just very, very beneficial to the community. I'd say yes.
I say yes there, but there's also a club there in Redwood, there with the Eagles there, that's still a big hard to go on telephone bill, and you can't attract and get, events in their building there, and they're having the same difficulties.
Yeah, and
We helped them out with their taxes there, we returned their taxes there, but they still, I bet you're
well,
having
they
a
can
hard
do a
time.
request to council.
When do you on that club, you should
Yeah.
get them to.
Yeah.
Request.
I was actually speaking to Corey about that,
Mhm.
and, about, asking for assistance.
Okay, be it resolved that further to their request, we approve a donation to Walford Community Center in the amount of,
I don't wanna be,
Community club.
I don't wanna be the mean person here, but you're asking, sounds to me like you're asking for money for the kids' events. Is that correct? It's not,
That's part of it, yes.
yeah, mostly it's kids, like
Recreation, right?
Halloween party.
Recreation is for all ages, but
Yeah.
if you wanna say kids, yeah.
But I don't want to be the bad guy here, but where are the events going to be coming? There's not anything allowed right now.
Well,
Well, we're hoping,
things
by
are changing
winter,
though.
Yeah.
things will be.
Yeah, things are changing.
We're in
You're
stage
allowed
3,
larger
yeah.
groups now.
Yeah,
for the
and if it's
time being.
outside, like when we do it down at the rink in the winter,
Yeah.
it's mostly all outside, so you're not right next to each other.
Depending how that all goes, once we start all being inside. So I don't.
What I would like to
I know
say-
where you're coming from.
Yeah, what I would like to say is then that we give part of the money and they can always ask for more.
So what do you want to put for number? 15, 2000?
1,500.
I think 15's fair, to be honest with you.
They can always ask for another donation if needed,
Okay,
depending on what events are going to happen.
did you guys put a lot of thought in when you come up with the 2,500, Cheryl, to begin with? What did you break
We
down?
just
say,
know
you know
we
what, this is
spend-
what we need.
What we would have spent, like, say, from the fall till winter.
Okay.
Winter's
So this is
over,
just
like
a-
January,
You're
February.
going by what you
So
spent
there's
last year.
nothing to do with the summer, which is already gone.
The summer's
by.
gone, we didn't,
And there was
I mean,
nothing to
no.
fundraise whatsoever. So, I don't know, I still think we should stay with the 2,500.
Comment from anybody else?
I don't know, the world's changing. The whole fundraising thing is gonna change. The whole social thing is gonna change.
Yeah, and let's just get them through the crux though, because people are being innovative and thinking of new ways to, provide service. So let's, give them a hand here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll give them a hand to 1,500 there, and we're not gonna, nobody's eggs out there, we're still gonna help them there if
I
they're
think
short.
15 is a happy medium for myself personally.
I wonder if that'd get them through the end of the year, and we can look at it.
Well,
at the end of the year
I'm
again.
thinking for
Well, if
now,
it doesn't, they can ask for another
Yeah.
donation.
I know,
That's
but
right.
it'd be nice if we knew that this, whatever we donated tonight would be enough to get them through the end of the year. And then-
well, we don't know
There's
that.
a lot of
because
what
we don't know
ifs for
what's
everything.
gonna happen,
That's
so.
an impossible.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We're
It's
just-
all about what
Yeah,
it is.
okay. Okay, number
1,500.
15?
I agree.
50.
For right now, anyway.
Okay, then you'll move that there?
Yes, I will.
Kevin, you'll second it there?
All set.
All in favor? Carry. No, we're not gonna let any organization fall in this municipality. We're gonna try to help any organization that benefits this municipality. And Eagles is another one there, the Walter Community Center is an asset.
Yeah, so just as a note, that's the Walford Community Club, not Walford Community
Club.
Center.
Yes, it does say club.
It's
on
the
the
Walker
motion.
Community Club.
Yeah,
I didn't know
the
we
center
were-
is a different
Yeah.
entity.
The
Yeah.
center is a different, yeah.
The center is us.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
on paper, it's us, yeah.
Okay, marketplace update there. There's no business wants to get involved in this right now. They're doing it all from the driveway there. We're all going to the driveway and picking our corn up there or whatever.
And they're doing quite well by the ones
are.
I've talked to.
They are.
They're having like stellar,
They're doing fine.
with the
and-
way things are, they're doing,
And Amanda and I talked to the other day and we mentioned that, at this point, it's too late in the game for, even if we did want to do the marketplace, because we don't have the interest, but where we left off in March, we didn't even have the terms of reference
Yeah.
confirmed, so we'd have to meet by meeting and organizing and getting, sell it again, but already they're very reluctant, right?
And there's still the washroom thing.
And there's the washroom
And
thing,
the
and as much as I'd like
distancing
to see it going,
Yeah.
it's just not feasible this year. I think we should
No, it's
concentrate
working
on next
too
year.
far gone.
Yeah.
and is there not like different things you have to do, because you wanna make it more into a flea market instead of
Yes,
just a
yes,
farmer's
that's
market.
what, that's
Yeah.
why we had to read.
So there's
the
all
terms
new
of
rulings and
reference.
stuff.
And I got some flack from people that
Yeah, I
said,
know, me
well,
too.
why not? We can go shopping in stores, why can't we do that?
No, you know, I
The
said,
township is responsible.
Well, and because the vendors don't wanna do it,
No, well, that,
most of
That
them, or
as
some
well.
of them. If
we'll
they
see
don't wanna
where we're
sell
at
their wares
next year.
there, they don't
That's
have
all.
to.
So with this list here, can we send a nice little letter and say, by the way, there, we're
yeah,
setting back this year because we want them all for next year.
yes, I think
So we
that
should be-
Amanda could write them a letter and
Yes.
Just say
say
thank
that,
you there and
yeah.
all our,
you know, sorry for the inconvenience this year.
we like your input
Yes,
there.
for
and-
next year, absolutely. And if she can't, here's the thing, you know, she's phoned a lot, and hasn't got any answers. Maybe write letters too, okay? Just try.
Well, there's only 5 or 6 there and one blanket letter there.
Yeah,
makes a
and
comment there.
maybe something on Facebook too, okay?
Oh, just for everyone's information. She created an Instagram account, because a lot of the younger people use Instagram, so that's available now.
Yeah,
Today she went out to take some pictures to post on it, so that
good,
we had some
good, I'll
stuff
have
going
to
on.
check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say something else. Oh, and on that note, so what about, economic development meetings? Can I start them up in September and do them at the arena, or how does everybody feel about that?
Well, let's just try the next 2 meetings here, and we gotta have a meeting in regards to Park and Rec there, because this ice has gotta go in if we're gonna start thinking about it there. Put a plan together. I talked to other municipalities, and they don't have a clue what they're doing, so.
Well, no, it's like the
No.
whole dressing room thing.
No, but
It's
I
like-
don't want Paul Anderson sitting there and say, oh, God, September the 23rd, we're putting the ice in. We gotta have a plan there so we can carry it through there to.
Yeah, I've been
So-
thinking about that.
Yeah. So maybe there, if the roads and the next, council meeting goes off well, or maybe we can have a Parks and Rec there in September there, early there.
Well, it'll be the third week, I mean, if you're gonna consume the first and second week.
Yeah, well, even if we gotta change a different date there or something there to
Might be
make
something
something
wrong.
work.
Yeah.
Why can't we have it the same week as the council meeting?
Yeah, you can.
There's other meetings as well. The
That's right.
Library has never stopped meeting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you've had
Yeah,
meetings all
Right
summer.
through the
Wow.
summer,
Yeah,
well,
summer.
because we're.
Well,
losing
yeah,
our
you've
CEO.
had to, yeah. Have you been doing it,
Uh,
teleconference or just in person?
no, what we did the last 2 in person.
Oh, yeah.
I was almost gonna go back to teleconference, but
Yeah.
things settled.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
our auditors,
Yes,
what is the rate there? I never got any correspondence. What is the increase there per year, or what is the,
It was less than what we.
because I never seen
I think
any.
that, I think
What do
we
you
have
think?
a handout for that.
Well, it's been on since like June, talking about the auditors.
Yeah, I asked to get it put on there, and what are they gonna charge us for?
I don't recall
Now
that
saying,
at all.
no, I haven't seen any either. But we're appointing somebody for 5 years, I'd like to know, what are we,
Yeah.
are they getting a 10%,
It was,
20%?
yeah, it was with the original ones, so. I'm sorry, I thought it was all.
No, so is there any hurry for this here?
I don't
Can
think
we
so.
just hold off there and get
For
the
the next
numbers
meeting?
in?
Yeah.
'Cause we're-
Yeah, it was just that the first year, they weren't appointed, right? It was just
Yes.
like a trial, so we
Yeah.
need to appoint them, so
Yeah.
that's all it is.
I
Yeah.
see.
So, but yeah.
And you
whatever
found
the
them very
original-
efficient?
That's right. Yes,
Good.
And just have to make it official.
And not one,
yeah, exactly,
and
yeah.
We
But
need
all
to-
that originally went out when we did.
So we need to
our
pass a motion to accept
I
these
see.
auditors as our auditors.
So, yeah, we can pull back that information and do it next.
And about pricing, like their
Yeah.
pricing rates and all
Yeah,
that.
they
all
came
that
in at
jazz.
less than what we used to
Oh,
pay
wow.
our old
Yes.
auditors.
Oh, yeah, we have that information all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It just wasn't like this, I guess.
That was just a trial.
That was fair, yeah. I really liked him.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't really
Well,
get
that's
much of
important.
a. Well, we didn't really.
Maybe
get
we
to
should
see
do
them.
that again next year, work all this year.
Okay, so that's all for the agenda there.
Well, we're just gonna talk about the seniors.
Yeah, but I want to go back to these meetings there, so everybody can write it down.
Okay,
So we're having roads in August and 19th.
yes.
So when we have, have you got a number or a date there, Susan or Dale?
I was happy with the third week of September, thinking the government's still changing things, and I mean, we don't know today what's gonna happen next month. but
Okay, third, wasn't it?
I was just kind of following protocol is what we've done in the past.
I know, but the concern is, do we even know if we're gonna even have any hockey teams or anything?
Well,
or,
that's-
you know,
Well, they're just chomping at the bit to know if they can move forward.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
Unless you, oh, sorry, cut in.
I was just saying that the hockey teams are waiting for their, right?
Yeah.
Their leaders to say the go and they're ready to
But
go.
our issues is setting it up so that it's
Yeah.
suitable
Yeah.
for them to
that's
be in
lots
there,
of
that's our problem.
protocols.
And
Yeah,
I don't think the criteria is out yet.
there's one
Yeah.
arena that's working on it in Sudbury. I know they postponed the opening of it because new cases in Sudbury, but I know one of the criteria is to have 2 dressing rooms for every team, and just a lot of, you know.
Well, can we accommodate that?
That's what I'm,
Well,
how
that's-
can we accommodate that?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And
Well,
our,
it could be some
There's a lot of places
changes for
that
sure.
could be open with the new guidelines, but can't be open because of, they can't accommodate it with
Yeah.
staff and with placement and all that.
Yeah.
So,
Lots to find out.
What I
are we
see
gonna
is,
go in and put ice in an arena that nobody's
my
gonna
concern.
use?
well, let's follow a model first, and I don't think there's a
Yeah, I
model out
think
there.
we should just,
Yeah, but we gotta have a plan here, so we have a
Yeah.
meeting here, and then we said, by the way, we discussed
Yeah.
it there, and here's where we're still waiting, and
So
you're
Dale, you said what, the 16th?
In September,
Yeah.
Susan?
Yeah,
Usually I think the Parks and Rec was the third Wednesday. We had
That's it.
count
yeah,
that
that's the 3rd Wednesday.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
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 September 16th is what,
6 or 7?
What time? 7?
Would they used
is
to be
September
7?
7 okay with you people? I know that some of the volunteers preferred 7, but
okay, 17.
So how about active on the 15th then? We usually do the 3rd Tuesday.
that's gonna be a
Is
busy
that
week.
a lot that week?
Well, libraries.
I can
Thursday.
do the 8th maybe. Or the 22nd. I mean, there's no big rush.
22nd.
22nd is better.
That sounds good to me. I don't know about anybody else.
Okay, the 22nd then of September. And that's at
26.
6. We'll put it at 6. Yeah.
So as it stands now, these will be at the arena?
so that's
Unless
the
we-
room upstairs, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is this equipment capable of working down there?
I just record here,
Oh, I see.
I'll upload tomorrow,
Okay.
so I don't even need the internet for the recordings.
Okay, perfect. Okay, senior housing complex. So what we're gonna do there is get some numbers from, well, I think we should get some numbers from these, get the age there that people are looking at. And get if they have any people that are interested in this there. And then get that information there to the committee there or to the
Can
council.
they come and do a little,
Oh, they
come to
can,
our council meeting and chat with them?
you can do that at economic development there.
Yeah, okay,
And said, by the way, would you like to come there and give us some information there
okay,
and lead us in the right
Sure.
direction there, so.
okay, maybe invite them to our economic development meeting on
Who are
22nd.
these 2 firms, by the way? Where are they from? Olivadell and
They're the-
Perry and Perry?
Olivedale's doing Espanola.
Yeah, but where are they from? Are
I
they-
thought it had the breakdown, Doug Dorio and,
Well, that said they had local contacts, but like I don't know where these developers, where their head office is or what, or I'm just curious.
I thought it was an Espanola firm. So
Is it?
I thought it was.
Who said, would it be Rhonda or who would be looking after that?
Should be Wanda or Donna.
Or Donna?
That's the Harrison.
Or I
Or-
didn't either.
Or Fernal Company.
we'll send them a letter and see what they like to do. I mean, if the evening thing is hard for them, I could always meet with them during the day too, okay?
I think it's a starting
It's
point there.
somewhere to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who was looking there, what age, or is it a family,
Yeah,
or?
This is
is it-
it's gonna be a big process, so, yeah.
It's not gonna
that's a good-
happen overnight.
No, that's a good start.
And it gives the committee there some idea who is really looking for housing, and who's already on the waiting list there, they have a waiting list there, and
So should we wait until that meeting that Susan has with them to figure out how we investigate this town water, this treated water thing? Because then we'll know if we have a site.
Well, I don't think that has an impact on her meeting with people to determine what our populace would be for seniors' needs here. I don't think that would have an impact.
What I'm
Really?
talking about?
You're anxious
The
to know
water?
whether the water's a feasible thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, no matter what, it's gonna cost no matter what you
Yeah.
do for water there.
I'm thinking
It's
how
gonna
much
cost a
time,
lot.
how much time it's gonna take. Somebody's gonna have to do it.
Yeah, but that'll be a part of the whole estimates for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a little later. I see that
We
as
have
a
to
little
talk to
later.
an engineering firm.
Yeah.
First,
That's
I
it.
think
Depends
first
how
we
much
have to
funds
see
you have.
what the interest is and
Yeah.
what we're looking at.
What kind of
before we
funding is
even-
available?
I just think if I was an investor, I'd wanna say, well, do you
Yeah.
have the land?
Well,
So I'm just
Do you have
wondering
the
if that's
people?
our
We got the
preliminary
land,
we
yeah.
should be looking at.
But
Yeah,
do you
we
have
have
the
people
people,
that go into
do you
it.
have the people that would go into the facilities? That's the issue
and there
too.
was mention of a labor too,
Yes,
like the
yes.
labor
There
to
is a
do
labor
it.
force.
There's a labor force.
There's a definite labor force
Yeah,
there for
there
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but we're talking qualified tradesmen here.
Yeah,
Not
well,
just-
there's still
not
some
just a
that are
guy with a hammer.
unemployed. I know that, looking for work.
Fitters, welders, stuff like that, you know.
Lots of different ones, yeah.
but they'll also have a number there, what it's gonna cost per
Yeah.
month. So
Yeah.
it gives you some idea, and lots of people there after they hear the number 1750, I think that
Yeah.
you're on just one mention there.
Yeah, they pay. One lady.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to get all the information there, and then you can start saying, oh geez.
Yeah, let's do it right. Let's get doing it.
In, HSN.
There's two nice sites in, there's two nice
Yeah.
sites right in town there for housing.
Other than South Yard,
Yes,
can you tell me what they are?
one on Dell and one on Government Road.
Okay.
And there's another one by the school, by the senior school.
Yes,
Where's the one on Government Road? Where's that?
The remainder of the Dougal Hobbs farm, is that what?
mhm. That's perfect there. You're overlooking the river there, and you fill that there.
Oh, even the Sonnenberg investments.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's all behind the arena, yeah.
because people there love there, you,
Yeah, makes sense. Quiet corner of town as well.
yeah.
And it's in town,
And not
so
have
it's
to cross the
easier to
bridge to get
access.
into town to go over to town.
Yeah,
There could be other ones too.
Okay, it's encouraging to think that maybe we could at least acquire something so that we have a place.
Because they're in behind a separate, like Pat said there, and Bobby's got some plans there.
Ooh, that's probably things.
Oh, the neighbors, Green had had all sorts of them.
Yeah, so that's another one.
He had estate lots back there.
Okay, so we've got, L Street.
What about Leadwood? There's properties that are at least serviced by, or could be serviced by sewer,
They would have, yeah.
and water table is fairly close there, so I mean, we need to look at the whole municipality, not
Yes.
just.
That's right.
That's-
Yeah, you build it across from
Yeah.
Eldon.
One in each. I mean, it's not like they'll go to waste and not
That's
be
right.
rented.
No,
I mean, truthfully.
Yeah.
If you can.
I believe
in,
that too, there's
Right.
lots of people looking for housing.
Yes,
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's becoming, that part of the population is becoming more
It's a
and more.
crisis almost.
It's all
Wow.
about money.
yeah. But at 1750 a month,
They don't get that, they don't even get that
no.
in their pension.
I know.
Well, we did have people from Massey, living in Espanola at that.
Mhm.
So I mean,
And their families are supplementing them because they can't afford it.
that's not what I know, Meredith, go ahead.
Whereabouts, yeah,
People from Massey were in the next to the hospital there in Estrella.
Oh, yeah, assisted living and whatnot, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, also, you're subsidized, you can be subsidized if you don't have the means to, to pay it all.
Again, when we were talking about trades and that, you have PSWs and nurses and all that in this area.
Oh, they'll come, but I think the issue there was more about
Construction.
building it,
Yeah.
construction.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I'm not worried about
The
that either, but
PSWs
the
and
investor
yeah.
will handle that aspect of it.
But that was a
Well,
suggestion by their
It's
part.
surprisingly hard to get tradespeople sometimes, depending on what's going on, but right now, I don't think that would be an issue.
Okay, anybody got anything else here before?
I just have one other thing, the grass boulevard on the north and south side of Corey's Confectionery, there's, at our meeting here?
Actually,
No, that
we
was before our
mentioned,
meeting.
I guess you must have been reading there, I mentioned it earlier when,
That was before we started.
before we started our meeting, yeah, I
Okay.
mentioned.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I saw them sweep in the spring, Ronald swept, and I was shocked at how much sand and gravel that he took off of the sod. What I see is completely dead earth there that I believe we need to remove it. The simplest thing and probably most cost effective would be to lay out sod in those two little jigsaw pieces, and then it would be done as to planting, but I know that September is the month, so I just wanted to talk about it now. It looks terrible, and the guy did have basically a grocery store running out of his confectionery, so the traffic was brutal. It has subsided now with the grocery store open. I'd like to see us fix that up a little bit. We have a lot of people at the park, and they're all walking by there. I just think we should do our part to maybe pick up that little bit of atmosphere there.
Doesn't hurt.
I don't think it would be a big undertaking, and I'm sure if we sent the truck and trailer down for a couple pallets of sod, we'd have enough and it'd be over and done with in one afternoon.
But you need to put the soil in there first, or
Yeah,
clay or something.
Yeah, we need to remove some,
Soil and you need to
Yeah.
water it.
and we've got a water tank, and they're still running around for the flowers. They're watering in the weekends and picking up garbage. They're doing a good job, so we have the avenue with those people, especially the Parks and Rec extras that don't have an arena to run right now, so I was hoping we could get some approval to fix that up.
Anna's already said that she's gonna get on that with them.
I'll remind Blair.
Remind
I know
them,
that they're getting busy for
Oh,
their,
they're very busy, and
for their farm and chip and that, so I didn't see them at all today. Well, first thing that was it.
I was thinking about next month, thank you.
Yeah, I think next month would be a better time because it's too hot right now. I'd be laying sod, it'll just burn.
Yeah, but by the time we get at it, we'll be in September.
Yeah.
One other,
True.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
by the
with
time
you.
you take the
I
soil
agree.
out,
by the time we line it up in September, but I'd like, there's one other thing, Sagwalk's election is taking place today, and I would like to see us be proactive afterward to have a meeting with Sagwalk again, whether it's the same people or new people or some changes, but I think it's essential with them as our neighbors to conduct some reports, so I'd like to see us consider congratulating the new
well, we'll send a letter over there.
2020 council and invite,
Yeah.
did we not invite them to a meeting perhaps, or suggest that we'd like to have one with them, please?
I don't know if they're interested in meetings there because they're staying there.
No, I understand that.
Close-knit.
I know from previous discussion, I believe that if they did set up a transportation business, that a lot of people in Massey would contribute to as patrons. to
Oh,
that.
God, yeah.
Seeing as how many people are going out of town for appointments. And I'd just like to see us encourage, and maybe they can develop something that keeps some of their people employed and assisting our people in getting out of town to these appointments. So I just wanted to show them that we're interested at the same token.
I'll email Tammy or talk to Tammy and see what her feeling is on that.
Is she working or is she doing from home?
She's mostly working from home, but she goes in the office, she likes to go in the office because it's nice and quiet, right? She prefers to go into the office.
That'd be great.
No, but they're kind of keeping the all reserves tied down there.
Yeah,
Well, and they've been
yeah,
very
definitely.
fortunate, right?
Yeah.
It was a smart thing to do.
And I mean, once we got all our own committees going as well, then better chance of having a meeting with them.
Still, I'd like to see.
Yeah, so would I.
Well, as soon as we find out who got in there, we'll send a letter right away there, and the council there, congratulating them. we'll hopefully,
And
and put it in there, we'll hopefully have a
we're
meeting
interested
there
in getting
to,
together with them, that'd be great, that'd be great.
just a
I'm
simple
sure-
little letter there, you'll,
I'm sure they will have business to attend to as well. Okay, thank you.
but they got lots of things there that they'd like to work with us too.
Yeah.
I would imagine, so.
This pandemic has changed a lot of numbers for everyone.
Anything else, anybody?
River Street speeding, people speeding on River Street. Get concerns, calls all the time.
Okay, on that note, remember we talked about purchasing
Yes.
that lighted speed register sign? How's that?
We
Where's
had
that
a
at?
share in one,
It
right?
was purchased.
Yeah.
So I happened to talk to Chris Carmichael, and he says he knows there's one over on the island. Because Kim had spoken with Mike Pecor, I believe it was,
Yeah,
and he
right.
thought that they gave it to the police.
But
out
we
there.
spoke about buying our own.
What I'm gonna say is they have no right to give it away because it was an Espanola
Mhm.
coalition.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
gave it to the OPP. He was pretty sure that that's what happened. So it could be over on the island.
I am sure we decided to buy our own,
Well, we
So
talked
we
about
talked
it.
about
right?
No,
pricing,
we talked, I don't know how much
Yeah,
further,
yeah.
but
we talked about
if
pricing.
we're a third owner, we
Looking
should
at a
have
price.
ours, that third sitting here for a little while if it's never been here.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know where it is.
So has Kim talked to the Espanola?
Yeah, that's who she talked to, and that he wasn't sure where it went.
No, nobody.
So I happened to see
Wow,
Chris
what a
Carmichael the next
screw up.
week, and I asked him, and he said he knows there's one over in the island, but he would ask around, and he's always quite willing to set up, patrol
Yeah.
any area that we want.
Has anybody seen those signs by Woodland printers? I wonder what they cost.
That's what I'm
That's what
talking
we're
about.
talking
I
about.
realize, but that's a new style as
Yeah.
opposed to a trailer,
Yeah,
and I'm just
Yeah.
one, they have a few of them on Manitoulin Island as well, I think.
could we look into that? To get the cost for
Yeah,
that?
because if you actually
Yeah.
need the speed, it goes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Or
didn't
slow
see that.
down.
Generally, when it
It
goes
does.
from red to green, it'll say thank you.
Yeah, it says
I
thank
thought all
you.
they said was danger, but.
Yeah. Mine doesn't say thank you.
While we're talking about, while we're talking about speed, I've had, 2 calls about, stones from speeding on the gravel portions of River Road. And one lost the windshield and the other one, almost lost the windshield. So I'm just wondering if it would be something to look at, because not all of River Road is gravel, or
There's
is.
not a whole lot of gravel on River Road.
Yes, there is. No, there's a lot of gravel on River Road, believe me. The sections are from, well, I say the old days farm, but you know what I'm talking about. From there, actually right through to Walford is gravel.
But
Yeah.
I just.
But
don't
the
find that there's a lot of
concern-
gravel on it.
The concern is down by, again, I'm aging myself, along by Jacques' place and by Nuttall's. Which is not Nuttall's
Yeah, I
anymore,
know,
but you know what
yeah.
I'm talking
I know
about.
what you mean.
I don't
Those
think,
are the 2 bad places
I don't
where
think
speed is a problem.
I don't think speed will, the stones can still come up, whether there's speed.
No, I sat there and watched just to see. There was guy doing 85 clicks. I clocked him, 85 clicks.
Yeah, people go. pretty
And this
fast
is
on that
every
road.
day.
Yeah.
So-
Again, if we have one of those signs, that would.
That's
But
the
I'm
courteous
just,
way
the only
to
reason
do
I'm
it.
concerned, if you're on a hard pack or whatever, then that's fine. But you're on a freshly like gravel road and the rocks are flying, well, somebody's paying $500 for a windshield, or $200 to get the crack done in it. So there's $700 that 2 residents from that road have put out because of the excessive speed on those streets.
But
So
then, somebody should report them.
Yeah.
they're not coming here, they're concerned about that.
No, but I mean, they
It's
should
up to them to
report
report
them,
it,
like
as
call
Cheryl's
the
saying.
OPP, like
Yeah.
I've done in
They have, but
Walford,
there's been no patrols.
because people speeding through town.
They
like,
have,
Yeah,
and they've been watching for patrols and there's been no patrols.
I agree
There's no
wholeheartedly.
As
This
for,
issue on River Street, there's pedestrians.
Well, I
and they're
realize
coming
that.
very close to getting hit by
Well, the
cars.
River Road is a lot more populated than it used to be too,
Oh, I
so.
know.
Same with downtown.
So where's our police
Downtown,
service?
yeah.
well, it's there often, but the thing is, I've spent a lot of time down at River Street, spoke to one of the residents who's concerned, and I wish she could suggest what time of day this is happening. She said it's happening all the time. For all the time I've spent there, I haven't seen a thing as far as speeding goes. I'm not denying what she's saying, but I mean, it would help if the
There's
guys
no
knew when they
time
could be
period.
sitting
Not like the
there
river
waiting for
road, there's no
somebody.
specific time, but it does happen. But
Well,
it's
if
on
it's
the
the same
gravel
ones, they have a
portions
pattern, it's creepier.
that are concerning.
And they'll
It's
do
the
it
same
again.
offenders, and you know what I'm trying to say? They
The
have-
rate payer I was talking to was requesting maybe, pedestrian sign or whatever. Were we gonna put pedestrian signs all over town?
Well,
You know, I don't know.
We talked about that sign there, and we move it around there, so let's
Yeah.
keep on there and see what the cost is.
And back to what Susan said has already been discussed. Let's get a quote and let's get a sign or two and let's start moving it around. People see that, they realize,
Yeah.
some just need to wake up.
Yeah, because there's some of us can name them better first name there,
The trouble, the ones, the offenders, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen any on Rivers. Like I said, I spent lots of time, but
Well, it's sort of like if you live there, I guess you know this.
yeah.
type of
Well, no,
I
no,
wouldn't
no,
walk
because
there.
I drive all the roads to see what's going on. That's what I
Okay,
do.
there you go.
Well, I know
there.
that, but there's, when someone lives somewhere, they see it day in, day out.
Right.
and so,
Well,
Okay.
you know.
Be it resolved, to move into closed session to consider personal matters by identifying individuals, including municipal or board employees, respecting the public works department and council. Cheryl, you move it there?
I will move it.
I have to second it there?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Karen? Check it off there.
No.
In the regular meeting be resumed. Pat there and Cheryl there?
Yes.
I will.
Yeah, all in favor? Carried. Anything else for anybody there?
Just like to report that we have 5 highly qualified candidates
Oh, nice.
interviewing for the
Good.
CEO.
Awesome.
Want to stay?
All out of towners, yeah.
All out of
Oh, you know, life happens, big one down.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
But,
can't blame them.
we're gonna do interviews electronically, and then after that, I can't imagine
Like,
giving somebody a job without meeting them
Okay.
Yeah,
face to face.
I agree.
We're going to the Derena's next meeting there. What you feeling? Should we be wearing our mask or can we take them
Yes.
off if we're farther apart there or?
It's up, I think.
That's an
Personal,
individual.
It's a
individual.
personal thing.
Okay,
It's a personal thing.
Personal choice.
okay. As long as there's- Sure.
I was just going to say, maybe we should send a letter to the new owners of Stewart's,
Yeah,
Yes.
congratulate them,
yeah,
if anybody else has any,
Yeah.
welcome,
yeah,
good luck,
good idea.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish the.
They'll have a
Stewards
hard
luck.
job ahead of them taking over from Stewart's. It's always hard for new people to move into a small town. right?
Well,
But-
yeah,
Yeah,
as long
but
as they
I-
keep the service up, though,
Yeah.
that's a gold mine.
So I
that
just
place.
thought, maybe we should do that.
Not the Dragonfly, the first bistro, is that all gonna open there or is she
I don't
gonna
know, I haven't heard
still
a thing. I
stay in
don't
there?
know. They put the for sale sign back up.
The realtor
Yesterday.
sign went down and then the sign went back up.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
So
They,
maybe
they,
the,
they thought they had an offer to purchase, I believe,
Yeah.
and maybe it's also, I'm not sure.
well, I hope they can open up there because lots of people like.
Yeah, she had a thing on Facebook showing masks that, you know,
Yeah.
for their employees that say the bistro on it. So
But
everybody's
some of
like,
her
"Yay."
employees have moved on to
Yeah.
different jobs too, so,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's just as, almost as similar as volunteers where I'm kind of leery
Yeah.
of, getting involved
Well,
in
and you
that.
can't
Yeah.
expect them, right?
No, they're not getting, well, I went to one place, we went to eat at one place and they actually added a COVID, amount on top of the bill.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, one of the optometrists in Espanola had a $50 COVID charge.
Yeah.
And Karen and Daryl went to book, they went to
Yeah.
book an appointment and they go, well, you're seniors, but you will have to pay the $50 COVID fee. And I went, what? Is
At a
that
restaurant? No, at the
Optometrist.
Really?
Yes?
And I said,
Wow.
I don't think that's
Okay.
legal, but
Okay,
anyway.
we're not, any for council? Okay, be it resolved, this meeting be adjourned on the next regular meeting is called here. Kevin, you move adjourned, Linda? All in favor? Carried.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.